Welcome back. It's time for another Postbag. Let's just dive right in and start with this one. This says electric plug. So it's not sharp enough anymore. And it is indeed an electric plug. Now, I don't know what these plugs are called. I do know why I bought it. It is a plug, and is it both ends? For a K-type thermocouple. I do have a temperature sensor. Let me quickly grab it. Here it is. At the moment there's no battery in there, and I can't be bothered to go and grab a 9-volt battery, but it takes these connectors like this one. One of my thermocouples has this termination at the end, and that obviously won't fit in there. So I ordered one of these plugs to terminate the thermocouple into and be able to use it with this one. Next one, it says soldering iron tip TS-D24. And that's pretty well wrapped. Let's see, what is a tactical place to open this? Over there. And it's this tip. It is for my TS100 soldering iron, which currently has the 0.2 millimeter tip. I believe that is the TS-I, and now this is the TS-D24, which it says so on the wrapping as well, which is a bit bigger, and I hope this has more thermal transfer than this one does. This is very good for SMD work. It's not on, by the way, so I'm safe touching myself. I mean, with the soldering iron. This one is a bit bigger, and I had some trouble soldering in some headers on some prototyping board, especially on a ground plane. So now I have a bit of a bigger tip, and that should make my soldering life a bit easier. Next one. It kind of says, I can read it through the sticker, jewelry, tools and equipment. I hope it's not more of these rings. Comes with a nice card. Share pleasure with friends, 5 stars. Dear friend, if you are satisfied with us, please write down beautiful comments, which is very important for us. So please feedback with 5 stars. If you have any problem, please contact with us immediately. We believe can solve it. Please do not give us negative feedback. Thank you so much. And go ahead and scan this and have some fun. But what's in there? That's important. It's another tweezer. I already have these tweezers. Let me get this out. I already have these tweezers. They're very similar. This one still has the protective cover on it. So this is my old one, and as you can see, it's a bit bent. I dropped it a few times and it landed on its tip, and yeah, it doesn't tweeze as good as it used to. Now this one is the new one, and well, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, new tweezers. Next up, industry swabs. And these are, well, swabs, I guess you call them. I've bought these for cleaning PCBs. Just grab any PCB for the moment. And I had a bit of trouble cleaning this PCB with an old toothbrush. So I thought maybe it's a good idea to instead use some of these. So yeah, I'm gonna try these out. Look at how red my hands are. What's happening? Is that because there's so much green in here? Look at that. Next, nothing. Let me see. This is some copper wire. Let me get it out. So this is some enameled copper wire. I think it's enameled. Let's get a multimeter. Place it anywhere. Yeah, see? No continuity. So that's enameled copper wire. I bought this to do some experiments with making my own electromagnet. I also have some iron rod, and I wanted to do some experimenting with a power supply and an iron core with some copper wire around it, and try to make my own electromagnet, and maybe even control that electromagnet through a microcontroller like an Arduino or an AT-Tiny. Next one, soldering iron. Now I believe this has something to do with the D24 tip you saw earlier, and I guess this is also a tip, only this one comes in a nice tube, and it's the TS-ILS, and it's about the same as the other tip I have currently on my TS100, but you can see a difference. The tip itself is the same size, but the length of the tip is a bit bigger. But I was just wondering what the difference is between this tip and this tip, which are both the same diameter. But it seems to be that the only difference is, well, it's not the only one, there are two differences. This bit over here and the tip, it's a bit longer. Next one says welding wires. Let's feel where it's safe to open. And it's not actually welding wires, it's solder wick. I've bought two sizes. One is 1.5 millimeter and the other one is 3.5 millimeter. I do have a lot of wick, which is very fine. So this is 1.5 millimeters, which is pretty fine, and this is a bit bigger. And I found that the larger the pad is, the less it will work with 1.5 millimeter. So that's why I also bought 3.5 millimeter for some bigger pads to clean. I wonder who that is. Does anyone know? So, and the last one for today, it says integrated circuits. Feels pretty heavy. It says it's only 0.04 kilograms, so that's 40 grams. It's much heavier than that. I wonder what's inside. And oh wow, it is and it's a big pile of breadboards. So these are some, I think it's 170 tie points. So let me just quickly do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. And these are numbered 1 to 17. So 17 times 10. That's 170. I do have multiple breadboards. See, this is a big one. But usually I just use a small piece of the breadboard, and when I want to save my circuit on a breadboard, I'm just wasting a lot of space, and I thought it might be a good idea to buy some smaller breadboards, which I don't then have to feel bad about leaving the circuit on and just storing that somewhere until I need it again. So there are 2 pieces of each color, and there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in total. So that should keep me going for a while. And these are today's Postbag items. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye.